Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Trainz Railroad Simulator, Trainz with a C. And today we're going to be taking a look at the latest payware model from Trainz Forge. So, it's been a while since I looked at anything from them. Haven't really put out anything new since a while. It's been a long while since they put out anything actually new. Matter of fact, this pack is not brand new. It's been out for a little bit now. I just keep forgetting to I kept forgetting it existed, so I never bought it. And I bought it and I forgot to do a video on it. Ring around Rosie. Here we are now. But I'm finally getting to a video on it, so let's dive into it. So what are we looking at? We are looking at the nickel plate road L1a and B models. These are some of the earliest 464 types built in the United States. The 464 Hudson type. Mixed traffic locomotive. I believe they were initially built for fast passenger services, late 1920s, but later on in life it would not be wildly unusual to see these pull in a freight train or something of the sorts. And I believe by the 1950s, life is winding down. All but one of these locomotives got scrapped. The original L1, the very first locomotive delivered to Nickel Plate Road, number 170, is preserved at the Museum of Transportation in St. Louis, Missouri. It is on static display. I do not believe that there's any plan whatsoever to operate it. But it is preserved, which is pretty neat. 464s are a bit of a niche locomotive. You typically, outside of the New York Central, they're not something wildly thought about. Obviously, the New York Central scrapped every single one of theirs, so we don't have an example of one of those, but the Nickel Plate Road model is kind of an odd one to have made its preservation, but it's very cool because, as I said, 464s are a very odd sight. There were not a ton of them built. There weren't a ton of railroads that really made huge use of them. Not quite like the New York Central did, but so there's not a lot of them left. Kind of one of those where there weren't a lot to begin with, now there's not a lot. But such is life as it goes. But yeah. For the Trainz Forge pack, you're going to get a massive, it's a huge pack. Unfortunately, I do not have the entire pack here. I tried to do a video twice now today, and I did find a weird bug with these that I have never experienced. But if I place one of each of the models down that they have included in the pack, it will cut the audio out of my game, and I can't get it back. I have to completely restart Trainz to get the audio back. I don't know why that is. I don't know what it is, or I don't know what it's messing with, but just a heads up for anybody looking at it. If you try to place each and every single model in the pack on a scenario, you're probably going to get an audio crash. But I do have at least one of each version. I do have an I do have an A and a B model, and then I have a string of passenger cars. So I'm going to pull up the website here because I have no idea what all these coaches are, and it's much easier to read it off of the website. So it is $15. One of their more expensive packs, but again, it is huge. As you can see, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 combos in that picture right there. I believe there's 8 locomotives and a handful of, yeah, so 8 locomotives, 5 tenders, and 9 passenger cars. 12-1 sleeper, 10-1-2, 14 section sleeper, 328 baggage, 356 mail and express RPO, 72 seat chair car AC, a regular 72 seater, rebuilt diner lounge, and a 12-1 sleeper, as well as 3 pre-made passenger consoles, of which we have 1 down right now. We have the nickel plate limited. There's also Trainz 9 and 10, and the Western New Yorker. You can read all that on their webpage if you so please to. So let's get up close. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I put down a L4B. This is the mid model, so it's got the War Bonds tender on it for giggles and squiggles. It'll be the locomotive that we use for our sound testing and operating today, because the sounds are identical across all the locomotives. I have tested that. Whistle, bell, all that fun stuff. It's all quite literally the same. But there are some things that you get that are different on the eras and whatnot, such as the elephant ears. The elephant ears will change depending on the era. There's also some other things that we can change and or add. So, yoink. Let's get into it. Pull up our F5 HUD so that we have our bells, whistles, buttons, and options. So first off, what do we get to play with? We got train class. It's gonna give us marker or give us the doohickeys, the flags. I knew I was trying for words. Gonna give us flags, which is kind of entertaining that it doesn't light up the mark. Ah, there we go. Marker lights light up with the headlight. On a side note, I absolutely love that headlight color. I like that headlight all around. That's one of the best looking headlight effects that I have seen in a train sim in general. Trainz Forge has always done pretty good with their lighting effects. They've always done pretty good with their models in general, but it's one of those things that I don't understand some modelers. Most of this stuff didn't come around in 2024, so these bright white LED headlights don't exist. So many modelers use this bright white, god awful, ugly LED headlight, and then the developers will get mad when you call it out, because it's wrong, it's not right, it's not prototypical, and it's very obviously possible to get a correct color like this. This looks phenomenal. The number board lights look awesome. Marker lights look awesome. Headlights look awesome. Love it. Anyway, I digress. Let's go back. So we got a smoke box door. Pretty common item for Trainz Forge. Modeled inside. Very nice. Roof hatch. These back here, these are sliding roof hatches. Prototype smoke deflector. Ooh, that's ugly. I forget. Trainz Forge models aren't really sliders, they're more clickers. We got windows on either side. Front window. Engineer wind deflector. Well, that's kind of entertaining. It opens. Yeah, maybe it doesn't have a wind deflector in the front. It's got a wind deflector in the back. And that is it for this model. See if there's anything we can do to the tender. Nope. Then go on down the lines. The coaching stocks is not something we haven't seen before from Trainz Forge. Not that it's bad. It's nothing wild, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it, because it is stuff that we've seen before. As far as the basic coaching goes, it's reskinned to match. Which, I mean, they look pretty darn good. There is a weird effect with Trainz environments that makes the rivets look sparkly, which is very odd. But I do like the fact that the rivets are modeled. Well, the cars look pretty darn good. Sometimes you can come down. Oh, yeah, you can open doors. Duly noted. So the coaches look pretty good. I believe this is one of the early models, the A models. Yep, L1a, number 172. I believe this is the as delivered, if I'm not mistaken. And as you can see, some of the options are taken away for this one. Train class, smoke box door. Hop over here. I believe this is an A model with the deflectors. Yep. Come on. Oh, okay. Ah. Maybe I'm crazy. No, I'm not crazy. Alright, never experienced a large empty box for the details, but okay, cool, I guess. So I'm going to go out on a wild limb and say I can't change anything on that. Oh, tender. Nope. We got an L1a. I think I placed all L1as on this side. Stack extension. Ah, this is the ass delivered. I guess I could just read that. I don't know, that didn't make too much sense. So as I said earlier, details will change, or what you can change will change depending on the locomotive that you're messing with. Oh, this one's going to do it too. What in the world? Well, now I'm curious. Don't say it. Let's see what happens. Aha. Yes, I'm cheating. Don't care. They had a Mars light. They had a whistle shield. And of course, roof hatch, smoke box door, train glass. So we'll go out on the wild assumption and say it's the same story for this one. Indeed, whistle shield, Mars light. Cool, cool. Go back to our quick drive. Well, you don't belong. Don't remember you being here. Anywho. So let's take it for a spin. Numero uno. You got her whistle. Whistle is not bad at all. It does have a little bit of a noticeable kind of pop to it. A little bit of a noticeable transition to the loop. But it's not bad. Bell. What an odd bell sound. Very odd bell sound, huh? I'm gonna add the smoke deflectors for giggles and squiggles. Boy, if that doesn't make it look like a Chinese locomotive. As is very typical of Trainz Forge, the detailing is absolutely awesome on these things. They take the time to do all these little rivets, bolts, and such. But overall, their texturing looks pretty good. The lettering and whatnot is a little bit blurry, especially like these. These are really, really blurry. I know it can be a bit of a pain to get lettering to show up right in Trainz, but it's definitely noticeable. I love the fire effect. That looks really cool. These do have a cab. Pretty nice custom cab. Let's get rid of these junction overlays because they're distracting. As you guys know, I do not play in the cab on Trainz. I don't care to. Doesn't float my boat. But if you do enjoy it, there is a custom made cab. And overall, it does look pretty good. So. Ew, don't like the smoke. It's such an odd bell sound. Chef sounds are something. Nah. They're kind of old. Yeah. They're chuff sounds that they have used a few times before, so they're nothing that I would say are wild. They're not bad. I think they completely and utterly miss that like deep thudding thump. Now granted, I am playing with just a little controller. I'm not actually operating from inside the cab, and I know from past experiences, Trainz Forge models actually do play a little bit different and sound a little bit different if you play them from inside the cab. Well, I'm not playing it that way. I don't like Trainz inside the cab. I don't think it plays right. But it looks and runs very smoothly. Oh, by the way, we're on the Wildwood branch, if anybody cares to know. Kind of an odd place for this locomotive, but it's okay. It's It's nice that the acceleration is slow. It doesn't take off and fly. It's got some pretty decent physics. Rolling stock sounds are not half bad either. The rolling stock sounds do kind of drown out the locomotive, though. It's very hard to really hear the locomotive shelf sounds. It just sounds like the passenger cars behind it. Which, it is Trainz. It's really easy to play with the sound files in Trainz. So, adjust them to your liking. See, the in operation, the movement smoke doesn't look half bad. Steam doesn't look half bad. It's just that early smoker, it looked a lot like individual black cotton balls. Go ahead and bring it to a stop. So yeah, overall the sounds are not half bad. They're nothing spectacular as far as wild, new, and improved, but they're not bad. They sound pretty good. Overall movement and whatnot looks really good. So there it is, guys. The nickel plate road L1 464s from Trainz Forge. I highly recommend checking them out if you want something a little bit different. Or you're a big fan of the nickel plate road. It's go along quite nicely with the nickel plate Berkshires and Mikados that are available. So definitely go check it out. I think it was worth it. I think it's pretty cool. As far as routes that this goes with, I don't know of very many nickel plate routes, unfortunately, but there's routes like this that it's alright. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, link in the description, and I will see you next time.